Welcome to What's the Deal with Sam? Starring Sam Lilly. Join Sam as he discusses a wide variety of topics.
Bad mail.
Now
Thank
let's
you.
start the show.
Thank you. What's the deal with the number 9? It's like the number 8 or 10 or whatever the fuck. With the ground. Did you know there is no Mario Kart 9? There's no Mortal Kombat 9. There is no Windows 9. There is no iPhone 9. And I will do you one better with this. I kind of looked at this a little bit before I did this video, so it's almost like research, except nothing was really that well. I mean, it wasn't like great sources, but from what I can gather here, for a bit of an answer for a change, unless you have something more detailed and you're smarter than me, both of those things, because you're obviously going to be the latter, regardless, is that like fucking. Okay, Windows, they were like, yeah, we're not going to call it Windows 9 because there's also like Windows 95 and 98. It's going to get confused with like all the 9s and things in there for legacy stuff. So they just kind of jumped over to Windows 10. There's also like a general idea of like, well, 9 is like, I think there's a superstition around 9 is bad luck. There's also a thing where this 9, I don't know, it feels like it's really far along, but it's also not like as big of a jump or it's like a nice round number as 10, so they just kind of skip to 10. I don't know why 8 and 7 and whatever are still fine for these, but they'll jump across over to there. I mean, like, in Mortal Kombat, I mean, I got no idea. I don't know. They kind of stopped at some point, and then they just kind of started doing it again, and that was weird. Mario Kart bothers me probably the most because Mario Kart, and I probably talked about this before, but Mario Kart had like fucking Super Mario Kart, okay, and that was the first one, and then it was like, oh, is it like Super Mario Kart or is it like Super Mario Kart? I don't know. Could really go either way. Maybe it's meant to be ambiguous. Then you got Mario Kart 64, and like, okay, well, it's 64. Well, that's the system, so then you think, well, the other one must be Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo, so maybe there's like a regular Mario Kart that I missed on the NES. Like, it's like a Super Castlevania 4 or something. The naming trend thing kind of does that. And it's like, oh yeah, maybe there's like one without the Super. Before that, there wasn't. And then they have fucking like Mario Kart, well, they have Super Circuit on the Game Boy Advance. So, like, I'll give them a slight pass in that, like, it doesn't say Game Boy Advance, but also it's like sort of like a pseudo remake-ish port thing of Super Mario Kart. It's very similar. They put a bunch of those tracks in there, so like, okay, I'll let it slide. Double Dash throws it out the window. It's not called Mario Kart GameCube. It's called Mario Kart Double Dash. But hey, kudos. They tell you what it is. It's the one where you have two people in the thing. It kind of explains the different gameplay thing. Okay, that's cool to explain what you're doing in it. That also works. And then they did Mario Kart Wii and DS after that, so they went back to the console name, which, again, not as it doesn't explain as much, but whatever, it's fine. It's, I guess they're more normal, so whatever, it's like, instead of being like Mario Kart motion thing, waggle your wheel, Mario Kart touch your screen. Yeah, I don't even know if you use touch controls on that one either. I mean, if you can, I never did, but they did those. And then they're like, okay, so we have one on 3DS. So should we call it like Mario Kart 3DS, Mario Kart 3D with the 3D thing? Should we call it like Mario Kart Land, Sea, and Air because you can do all the things or whatever? No, we'll call it Mario Kart 7. We'll just randomly start numbering it at 7. You know how like movies and stuff will usually have that where they'll get kind of higher up in the numbers and then they'll kind of drop them because they know that like it's going to feel like a big ask to be like, I'm this deep into the thing, I've never seen any of them, so they start to like do subtitles instead. Mario Kart did the opposite. It's like, you know what? We're just gonna start numbering it at 7. Okay, we're gonna be like as awesome as Final Fantasy with this, and we're just gonna skip right to 7, and that's gonna be the big thing. I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you ain't Final Fantasy. Okay, you're not Squeenix. All right, you're not Squeensoft. You're not Eat My Squeen. #Squeen. But yeah, it's weird. And then they went to Mario Kart 8, and you're like, okay, so they're going to keep numbering them. That's fine. And then, Mario Kart 9 doesn't roll around. They call it Mario Kart World. Why didn't they just call it Mario Kart 9? And it's probably a similar reason to these other things. I guess it makes it like a bigger jump, but I guess they're like, we'll just call it Mario Kart World. And the only thing I found for that, the only thing I found somewhat interesting about that is that, they're trying to be like, yes, they're driving across the world and stuff. Again, they're trying to make it sound like what you're doing with it. Fair enough. But, thing is, the other piece is that they also put out the mobile one, which is like Mario Kart World Tour. So I guess they're kind of trying to kind of tie it in with that a little bit too with the naming thing. I think that might be part of it. That's as much as I could figure out on my own as a dipshit. So that's kind of where I'm sitting with it. I don't really know what to think about it, how to feel about it, whatever. It just does seem really weird. And I guess I'm gonna go ahead and preempt this. I'm gonna say this before you do, because a lot of you out there think you're real funny, think you're real clever, think you're real fucking. I'm gonna tickle your ribs. I don't consent. Don't. Because no, the answer is not that 7, 8, 9. Don't say it. If you say it, I'm gonna be mad. I won't really do anything about it other than be mad and respond to your comment faking how mad I am. So if that's what you want, if you want that kind of attention, go ahead. Talk shit, get stepped on. Get hit. Get stepped on?